Chapter 1051. He gripped the historical halberd, channeling his spirit's energy into it endlessly. In the next second, countless images entered Wilbur's consciousness. They spoke of another time, brilliant and luminescent. Countless cultivators flew around in the sky, wielding their godly weapons and treasures. There were even cultivators riding on different creatures on the ground. The enormous city was completely filled with cultivators. Cultivators were in their prime then. Every single person seemed to have some amount of spiritual energy, wielding different tools and weapons. Next was the ancestor of the Cook family. His job was to guard the city, but he was reaching the end of his lifespan. Thus, he dispersed everyone in the city, forged a new, smaller world, and left a sliver of his soul in there. Everything he had learned from cultivating for thousands of years surged into Wilbur's consciousness. What was passed on, however, was not cultivation methods or skills. Instead, it was knowledge. Everything he had understood from the countless years of cultivation and what he thought and felt, as well as information on how the historical halberd had actually come to be. Wilbur emerged from the immersive images after a long time, letting out a long sigh. The Cook family ancestor knew much more than Wilbur did. This also made Wilbur realize that there did indeed used to be a time on Earth when cultivation was at its peak. For some reason, that era passed, leaving a barely visible trail. That probably happened after the Cook family ancestor reached the end of his lifespan. However, the reason for the era's downfall did not appear in his memories. Wilbur put the historical halberd down, falling silent for a long time. The thoughts the Cook family ancestor had from thousands of years of cultivation were probably going to take a while for him to digest, but Wilbur was certain that it would improve his powers by a great deal. After all, cultivators from that time were far more powerful than the cultivators at this time. The thoughts and lessons learned by the cultivators of the past were not exactly accessible to them. Wilbur, however, had gotten lucky. A while later, he fell silent and began to cultivate using the power from the crystal sternum. Wilbur was going to condense all the power he got from this and use it for himself. He would then carry on researching the historical halberd and experience the Cook family ancestors' findings. At the same time, three middle-aged men sat together in one of the houses in Cookville, seemingly discussing something. I heard that the hidden realm in the Cook family opened up. There aren't any cultivators in that family, though. What could come out of that? Yes. But what if they went in there and came out with something good? The other two men lit up. All three of them exchanged glances. Shall we have a look tomorrow? Forget that. We'll just make them hand the goods over. We're all ambience-level cultivators. What do we have to be afraid of? What if they didn't find anything? Or what if the hidden realm was all just a rumor? Well, I'm sure they'd start talking the second we start killing off their man. You've got a point. I've had it out for these cooks for a long time now. Hoarding all that wealth while ordering us Cookville Jays around half the time like we're nothing. It's time we taught them a lesson. All right, we're going to the Cook residence first thing tomorrow morning. Good thinking. The three men stood up and high-fived each other, bursting out laughing.